Hello and welcome to the Starfall Collective, Season 2, King of the Cloudy Sea, a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventure. I'm Matthew Talamini, your Dungeon Master. I'm a writer and web developer based in Providence, Rhode Island, and you can find my stuff at MatthewTalamini.com. That's Matthew, Talamini.com. With me are some of my college buddies, Sir Robert Burbridge playing Weatherin, an elven paladin of Oberon. Say hi so people know who you are and to tell them where they can find your stuff.
Hey, I'm Sir Robert Burbridge, and you can find stuff at thefarce.net, and actually, that is really, really close to true.
David Farrell playing Karaok, or Gravy, a lizard folk ranger. Say hi so people know who you are and tell them where they can find your stuff.
Hi, I'm going to be Dwight this week, and I am sponsored by Fingerless Gloves for when you only want to save half of your fingers from frostbite.
Joshua Suich playing Malmer, an elven warlock of Chernobog. Say hi so people know who you are and tell them where they can find your stuff.
Hi, I'm Josh. You can find my stuff all over the internet using JSuich, J-S-U-I-C-H. That'll find me on Facebook and Instagram. And if you go to Reddit and go to the Starfall Collective subreddit, we can talk about Starfall stuff there.
The Feywild. Green and misty. No horizon, no ground visible. Only a single huge root running eastward, covered with strange lily pad vines for vegetation. The forces of the evil goddess Karen seem to have been using this passage through the Feywild to sneak into the Cloudy Sea, past the Elven Empire's border guards and the keen sight of the Aarakocra scout patrols. It's been an eventful trip into enemy territory. You found a strange corpse-like drow creature wielding fearsome magical chains who you slayed. After Karauk ate the corpse, Fennetir left the party, traveling back to the surface with Weatherin in pursuit. However, after passing through the portal back to the material plane, the two became separated. Weatherin returned to the party, and the narrative has not been back to see Fennetir yet. Next, you came upon a party of dark elves hauling a cloudship raft, as though they intended to set out on some expedition. You fought these two and killed them, but before succumbing, one of them blew a strange, silent whistle. You took one of their boats and hung it up by ropes underneath of the root, intending to rest there. But only an hour later, your rest was interrupted by an attack. Here is where we're at. Malmer, who was on top of the root keeping watch, was struck by arrows from the east. He raised the alarm, waking the others, and cast an invisibility spell on himself. Karauk is airborne. Right now he's about 80 feet east of the hanging boat, cruising below the root. Weatherin is also airborne. As soon as you lifted up above the level of the root, you looked around and you saw the lady, and she shot an arrow at you. The lady is what is called a drider. She's crouched amid the vegetation, a giant, black, hairy spider's body and legs. There is a dark elf woman where the spider's head should be, armed and armored with sword and a wicked-looking longbow. Imagine a centaur, except instead of a horse, it's the worst thing in the world. And instead of a person, a horrible, mad devil queen. Let me emphasize, before we get back into the initiative order, one of you is invisible, and the other two are literally airborne. Weatherin, your turn.
You're muted.
All
sir.
right. I'm more or less directly above her, if I recall.
She is below you and to the left.
Below me and to the left. Okay. Well, I think I will. And sorry, real quickly. And how far away is Malmer from me, or from the part below me? You know, the piece of branch below me.
Malmer is something like 30 feet behind you.
Okay, so not really far. I am going to. Just straight, just for kicks to see what happens. Just straight dive bomb at her and just attack.
Do you have a there are certain do you have any attack that will oh yeah, you have an Aarakocra attack that will let you avoid sorry, normally if you go within attack range of somebody and then leave, they get an opportunity to attack on you.
Okay.
I'm asking you if you have something to avoid that. As for instance, Karaok as a Quetzalcoatlus does have a special attack that lets him dive down, hit somebody, and get out of the way without them being able to get that opportunity attack.
Got it. I actually don't know. I had been just using Waitherin's stats as him in both forms.
Unless you have something specifically that says that you have that, you don't.
Okay. Then I'll tell you, and I should not like see if that's a racial thing for.
I would like you to be familiar with your character sheet in general, but it's better to do it before we're in a battle.
Sure. No, I just meant I'm asking you in general if I should be using an Aarakocra's like racial abilities for this kind of thing.
Oh, I would have told you that in the text of the ring. The thing that gives you that power will explain how that works.
Okay. In that case,
in general, I think what we settled on is you take on the form of an Aarakocra, but you don't get like an Aarakocra's like player sheet or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay.
But you get the shape of the Aarakocra and the fly speed,
Right.
but otherwise, like you're yourself.
Okay. Sounds good. That's what I remembered, and I just was making sure that didn't change with what you're saying. In that case, what I actually want to do is...
It can do a... Well, I don't... Never mind.
Apparently that plan failed the idiot test. Sir Robert asked himself, would an idiot attack that way? Apparently that is a way that an idiot would do it, and so he's not doing that thing.
No, I was going to do that.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to attack it. Let's see. And in order to do that, I'm going to roll... Actually, you know what I'm going to do first? Actually, I'm going to bless us all.
Everyone.
Yeah. So that's my action this time. I'm going to cast Bless. Well, I guess I'm maybe not close enough. No. Yeah, I'm going to fly towards where, in the vicinity of Malmer. I know where he is, but not like right next to him so that he becomes a target again. I'm going to fly over towards that way so that he's within range of my Bless and bless both of us. It's a 30-foot range, so I can't hit.
Okay.
And then and something like stand, near there.
Okay.
If I can land out of sight of Malmer, I will, and shift back into Watherin, but if not, I will not.
There's plenty of tall vegetation around
Okay.
in which a person is able to hide. Whether you successfully do hide would be dependent on a stealth check.
Sounds good.
Malmer is not the only one who would like to know exactly where you are for purposes.
Sure. I will dive into some random brush-looking area that's not super close to Malmer, but within 30-ish feet. and cast Bless on both of us.
So the way the route looks is there's a path down the center that's about 5 feet wide, and then about 20 feet on either side of the path of the vegetation, sloping down more and more steeply as it goes away from the path, because the thing is ultimately a cylindrical type route.
A branch, or root.
So Malmer is on the south edge of the path. He's in the undergrowth to the south of the path.
Okay. And I'll go just north of the path, I guess.
Okay. Make me that stealth check.
Show enough. Here, I'll just click it in D&D Beyond, which is there. And I am at disadvantage because of... I guess I'm at disadvantage. So I got a 9.
Okay. You're transforming from an Aarakocra to an elf.
Yeah.
Does that take an action?
It didn't say so when you originally read it to me. It's not a spell as far as I know. It's an at-will effect. So it's not like I'm casting...
Yeah.
I would have thought it would be an action, but okay. Whatever. We can figure it out later.
Okay.
Malmer, it's your turn. You're invisible. You're hiding. You have seen up above you, Watherin flew up to your right.
Yellow eyes.
Right. You saw Yellow Eyes, an Aarakocra you're familiar with a little bit, fly up and to your right, up and around.
Mm-hmm.
And then an arrow shot out of the undergrowth in front of you from a source that you can't see, whizzed past him. He flew back around and landed somewhere near you, and you have just been blessed by holy Oberonian magic.
Wonderful. Where is she relative to the path?
What you've seen is the arrow shooting out, and it's on the same side of the path as you.
Okay. I have not yet seen her, though.
You have not.
Okay. So I'm going to move around to where, if the path is here and she's here, the edge is over here. I'm trying to get over this way towards the edge in that direction.
Okay.
So I would assume I'll have to go at some kind of angle to get around over to it.
Their edge is about 15 feet directly to your right. You could fall right off it if you wanted.
Okay. I want to get near the edge where she is, though. So can I travel that far over?
Yeah, you can travel like southeast, diagonal until you get to the edge.
Sure.
And you won't have reached her yet.
But I'll be within like 30 feet because it'll be her, me, edge.
Sorry.
I'm going to
basically, I want to get over in her direction and try to, as I'm moving through the brush.
I want you to, because you don't know her exact position.
Yeah.
I want you to tell me exactly what you do.
Okay. I'm traveling in the direction of her and the brush. I'm veering off away from her in the direction of the edge of the route. As I travel in that direction, I use my action to try to see if I can find her, see if I can spot her, right? Can I do that? Can I use my action to do that?
Yeah, make a perception check.
Okay. It's a 17 plus 4 is 21.
Okay, yeah, you begin making your way. Making me a stealth check as well.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. Do I do that with advantage or anything because I'm invisible, or do I get a bonus?
This is just to determine how much you're moving the plants around you and how well you sneak between them without jostling them.
Okay. So
you're visually invisible, but people could still see how you interact with the world.
So no advantage or anything, just a straight stealth roll. 8.
Okay. Cool. So as soon as you start walking, um, you start to get a sense for the vegetation around you and the like general layout. And having just seen the arrow, you can deduce, oh, I get it. She is about 40 feet ahead of you, right up against the edge. You're muted.
Yeah, okay. I had background noise. Okay, very good. So I now I now have a pretty darn good idea where she is.
You have a pretty good idea where she is.
Okay. And I've spent
How, how
my
much
Go ahead.
how much and in what direction are you going to move?
I guess I'm going to use my full move speed to just move closer to her, but if she's right up against the edge, then I'm basically just trying to move towards her to be able to finally see her and engage.
Okay, so you want to get close enough to see her,
Yes.
but without being seen by her?
That's the hope.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, you do approach her. You get about 10 feet away from her. You can see her through the foliage, and she is crouching, looking up with hate and madness in her eyes, like scanning the sky, and sort of looking over the edge and down. Her 8 like spiky, hairy legs gripping over the edge of the root in various places, and her bow drawn. Karauk,
So I've still got a bonus action for this round, so I'm going to use my bonus action to place my Hexblade's curse upon her. And that doesn't have any verbal somatic components. I can just curse them with the bonus action.
Okay. And what does that do?
Gives me +3 bonus to my damage rolls, and I crit on a 19 or 20. And if we kill her, I get 9 hit points.
Nice. Here we go. Yeah. Karauk.
Yep.
You are currently a wing below the branch.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty far to the east of where the rest of the action is taking place.
Okay. So I have an idea of where she is.
No, you haven't seen her yet.
Oh, I haven't.
Yeah, so the story of the battle for you so far is
Right.
that you were awoken by Malmer's yelp. You shouted to Watherin, "Tell me where she is," and leaped into the air and started flying below the root, looking up at it, trying to find her, but you have not seen her yet.
Okay.
It's been like 12 seconds since you woke up.
Right. So I guess do I have any idea where they are?
Yeah, they probably won't have gone far from where you left them in this amount of time.
Can I think I'd like to kind of move in closer. I think further down. I'd like to position myself further, like on the opposite side of the branch from them, and a little further down. Trying to think. I can't mark her because I can't see her. Oh, I know what I'm gonna.
So you're gonna make a U-turn and go back the way you came?
Oh wait, I'm up. Oh, so
You
I've
told me your last turn you told me you flew like 80 feet to the east along the route underneath of it looking for her.
Oh, okay.
And so that's where you are now.
That's where I am. I would like to cast. Um, protected. Yeah, I think I want to cast. I'm gonna cast protection from good and evil on myself. Boop. And yeah, so that's um, aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. Their
Say
attack
that
rolls.
list again.
What's that?
Say that list again.
Aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. Roll
Doesn't
at
say
disadvantage.
doesn't
What's
say
the-
monstrosity, does it?
No.
This is a monstrosity.
Oh, never mind. Well,
But it's also part Fey.
Yeah, it has Fey ancestry. Yeah, okay, I'll give it to you. If it says Fey, this thing has Fey ancestry.
yeah.
I'll say it works. It's fine.
Hey, just
Okay.
giving us a basic sense of the layout.
Yeah, something like that.
Branch with a path. The wizard's tower is our wizard. The shield is Watherin, and the lizard is the lizard.
You should
spiders.
move the wizard closer to the spider.
How much? That sounds good. I'll
Like-
just do it. I'll make it up.
Yeah. They're very close to being within melee range, but not quite yet.
Let's call it that.
Yeah, that's good.
Call a
Okay.
hex maybe 6 or 8 feet. I mean, ballpark.
Yep, that looks great to me.
All right. Yeah, so I will cast protection. That gives me creatures of those types roll at disadvantage on attack rolls. I can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them. Yeah, and yeah. And I think I'm going to send me back down the route about 20 feet, maybe,
Which direction?
towards in the direction
West.
I came. Yeah,
West.
back towards the action. And yeah, Karauk's just waiting for the signal.
You're still below the route?
Yeah, still below the route.
Okay.
And that was my. I don't think I have any bonus actions I can do, so can't see her, so I can't mark her. Yep, that's it.
Okay, so she is what you see, Malmer, is that she looks above, looks around some, and then leaps off the side. And there are you can see her feet sort of disappear over the edge as she's clinging to the underside of the branch, and she looks around from the underside, sees Karauk, and draws that bow.
Do I see her?
Yeah, you see her.
I scream at her.
Not having seen any of you on the top side, she went around to the bottom side and did find one of you. So where's the longbow attack for her? Here we go.
She's at disadvantage.
Oh, right. And how's a 21 against your armor class? She rolled a 15 and a 20.
Boo.
And it's 15 plus 6 is 21.
I'm a 15.
Okay, so that's one hit. 13. How's 12?
12. What? Oh, for the
Against your
hit?
armor class.
Miss.
How's 18?
That'll hit.
She strikes you with 2 arrows, and you are going to take.
I am immune to physical.
Right, so the 2 arrows hit into you and do not hurt you at all,
Mm-hmm.
but you do take some poison damage, and that is
Yeah.
going to be 7 plus 1 is 8.
All right. Ouch.
But know this, be comforted. It's locally and ethically sourced. She rubs it on her own butt.
Not better.
Watherin,
Hi.
you are sitting among these strange vines, just having blessed your friend and turned back into a paladin.
Yeah, I run to.
You have actually you just heard
There's-
heard
Loud
Hurrah.
shrieking.
yeah, you heard a loud shrieking from your dinosaur friend.
Mm-hmm.
The angry kind.
Sorry, Malmer was invisible, but he still could be hidden.
Yes.
Okay.
He cannot be seen, but his interactions with the world around him might still be observed.
Although I can see him with true sight.
You can see him.
Yeah.
Yep.
I want to run to him. I'm Watherin now.
Mhm.
I want to run to him and inquire about his condition. Malmer, are you hurt?
Yeah, well, it certainly doesn't feel great. I guess he drops the invisibility.
And my question, sort of out of character, is about how many hit points of hurt he is.
Yeah, so Mal is currently at a 24 out of 54, so below half.
Okay. I use my action is that I use my laying on of hands pool, and I give him 20.
Nice. It's nice to fight with paladins.
Let me get this set.
Sorry, alongside paladins.
There you go. Okay. So I don't have much more of that. So, but there is 20 more hit points back for you,
Dankeschön.
and
You should move your character on our little map.
thank you. And let's see. I think that's all I can do right now.
Malmer.
Malmer kind of looks completely braced and he says, and you see what little effects of exhaustion and battle were clinging to him slough off, and you see a huge vein throbbing in the side of his neck. He channels the fighter class action surge, well, not action surge, second wind, and regains the remaining hit points that he was missing, and marches over to the edge of the vine situation and begins to climb forward and down the edge until he can see what's her face down there.
Question: when you commented that we could see her legs disappear, is she hanging by a spider silk, or is she walking?
On the
You
underside.
cannot actually see, but the way that she moved, the way that she moved had elements of both. In that
Okay.
she did sort of spring, the way
I
you see spiders spring, but
Mhm.
then she did also appear to be clinging to the plants and things on the underside.
Okay.
I can see her, right?
Yes, you can see her. She is, when you look at her, she is clinging with her legs to the underside of the root.
So, Sir Robert, can you move me 2 squares to the east and then put me at the edge? I take it I'm the tower. Anyway, so Matt, I moved to there. Can I see her as a target?
You're going to have to make an athletics check if you want to climb down to the place where you can see her. You will be clinging to the underside.
I do so. I roll a 13, and my modifier for athletics is a 5. So that's an 18.
Yeah. You are, I mean, you're not going to be able to attack from this position.
I just need to be able to see her.
Yeah, you see her. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I
you
can
climb.
fire. I can fire my spells at her though.
Mhm.
Yeah, so that's what I want to do. I want to fire downwards at her with Eldritch Blast, and so that's going to be a not the greatest I've ever fired. These it's a 6 plus 8 is a 14. Does a 14 hit?
Misses.
8 plus 8 is 16. Does a 16 hit?
That misses.
No! Oh man. Yeah, I guess she's more than 10 feet away from me still.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're shooting at her sort of just past the curve of the cylinder of the branch. So you've scuttled down like and are sort of clinging to the bottom of this monkey barring just to the
Hmm.
point where you could first see her. And then you
Hmm.
blasted at her twice, missed both times.
Yep.
So yeah, you've used all of your motion. The climbing is difficult terrain.
Yep. Okay.
Karauk,
Yup.
you saw all this as it happened. Malmer shot at her, he
Mhm.
missed.
All right. How far away is she?
Oh,
me?
crud. I'm an idiot.
She's like 30 feet away from you.
Okay.
I forgot to add my bless to them. Oh. I probably hit.
Um.
Man. Sir Robert, I am so sorry. I'm an idiot.
Well, whatever. I've done that 400,000 times.
Well, you know what? Okay, whatever. We can go back. He hasn't the next person hasn't done anything yet. Karauk hasn't actually taken his turn.
Is that fair?
What did you roll for that second one?
It would have been the first one would have been 17, and the next one would have been 22. No,
20.
16 plus 4, 20. 20.
The 20 hits.
Okay. All right. I will never. I'm going to make those people stop saying that you're not a merciful DM. I'm going to make everybody on the internet shut up. All right. Damage won't be huge, but that's not the point of this spell. So she's going to take 6, 7, 8, 9 points of damage, and she's going to be blasted 10 feet straight down. So the question is, does this dislodge her from the foliage of the underside?
Let's see. She is making an athletics check about this right now. Yeah, she's good. What you see is just as if you had like blown a puff of air at a spider and knocked it off its web. Is that she drops a little bit, but then is arrested at the end of a tether that you cannot see.
Oh, no. Oh, I was afraid of that. Oh, that's terrible. That's the worst thing ever. Okay, thank you. You're the worst. I appreciate it.
If she had made a worse athletics check, it would have gone worse for her.
Sure.
Kara, now it is your turn. You see the Drider. Malmer is able to shoot her with a blast of his necrotic energy, which shoots her down. But she is able to cling to some sort of web like spiders have. So you see her suspended about 15 feet below the level of the root.
Interesting. I am going to. Can I? And I can't tell where the thread is, can I?
It is not visible to you.
Okay. Well,
This is a very gloomy environment.
mm-hmm. Um, this feels risky, but well, I'm gonna let's just hammer away. So, yeah, Karak. Oh, first, Karak is going to use Slayer's Prey to mark his target, and then oh shoot, that's my action.
Matt's video just disappeared, so
Wait, no, that's my bonus action.
there he is.
Sorry, I just dropped off there for a little bit.
Nothing
The last thing I heard was that you used Slayer's Prey to mark your target.
Yep,
That's a bonus action.
that's a bonus action, and then I am going to dive attack on in and use my bite, which should give me 2 strikes on her. So, first
Snip,
strike.
snap.
Natural 20.
That hits, and whatever the damage would be, roll it twice because that's a critical hit.
Roll it twice or double it.
Do not double it.
Okay.
Roll it twice.
Okay, so I get oh boy. 3d6, 6d6.
You bite for 3d6.
My bite is 3d6. My dive attack deals an extra 3d6, so that's 6d6. Slayer's Prey gives me an additional d6, so that's 7d6. 14d6.
No, you don't double the hunter's mark. You double the 6 physical
Yeah.
die.
Only
So
double.
unit 13.
Whoa. Your physical attack is 3d6. Those are the 3d6 that the natural 20 doubles.
Dive itself isn't going to double.
The dive itself does not get doubled.
So
Okay.
it's 3 doubles to 6 plus
3
9 plus
6.
1 is 10.
10d6. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm sorry.
That is still
Plus
an
2.
incredibly powerful hit.
10d6 plus 2.
That's the Miley Cyrus came in like a wrecking ball.
Yeah.
You ever seen a spider get eaten by a Quetzalcoatlus? About to today, boys.
You did now. All right. Well, that was below average. 13, and then 5 more. That's a little better. 13, 14, 24, 30, 32.
Not bad. And I take it you added your strength bonus or whatever.
Yeah.
Nice. That is a smashing good hit.
And you get a second attack, right?
Yep. So my second attack is a 14.
14 misses.
All right.
But because you barrel into her so hard with this attack, I'm going to make her have to make another athletics check to stay on her thread. Because I think that's fair when you got a critical hit against her. Yeah. She just rolled a 3.
I'm okay with that.
So, how big are you? What's your size?
Let's see. I am
Large?
I've got it in here. I think I might be huge.
He's a size larger than large.
I am huge.
Okay.
He is.
You suddenly find yourself with a large monstrosity, chaotic evil clinging to you, grabbing onto you as though she has no other purchase.
Am I grappled?
Make me a strength check, athletics check to resist being grappled by her.
Wait, so I use my
Just athletics, just regular athletics check.
If I win, can I grapple her?
All in good time.
Oh well, so I was doing this because she's trying to grab onto you. So this is to see if you can throw her off.
Yeah, I mean,
For her, this is a Shadow of the Colossus thing.
Oh, okay. I mean, I don't particularly want to hold on to her.
Right, and so because
I want her to...
But if you want a choice about what you're going to do, you need to win this.
Right.
Oh, okay.
If it turns out that she's stronger than you, then you won't be able to throw her off.
Okay, let me hold on a second. This isn't a okay, this isn't a saving throw. This is just a contested check.
This is a contested check, yeah.
Okay. Oh, wait. Whenever you make so this is supernatural defense. Whenever the target of your Slayer's prey forces you to make a saving throw, and whenever you make an ability check to escape that target's grapple.
This is exactly that.
All right, add 1d6 to your roll, so I get an extra d6.
Nice.
And that's a 21.
And what do we say to fighters, Morty? What do we say to him? We said quit freeloading.
21 is a higher number than 18.
I smash her face with my foot, and then I scream really loud.
And she
tries to grab.
You circle as you watch the lady, this dread emissary of Karen herself, go twirling and tumbling down into who knows what netherworld.
Mal gets several rounds of Eldritch Blast off as she hurls down into the darkness. Until she's a speck on the horizon, he's still firing at her.
She disappears into strange green fog before too long. But you may shoot at her once if you wish.
I mean, I can hit her for 300 yards. So you tell me how many yards she falls, or 300 feet. So how many feet she falls per round and everything.
You don't have
If we're watching her fall for a while, I'm going to get a long rest in.
Okay.
No, you do not have 300 feet of visibility.
Oh, fair. I'm sorry. Okay, so
this actually informed this battle because she can shoot that longbow 600 feet, and that's so that's why she was so close to you when this battle started. Was she couldn't see you until she got that close. Mm-hmm. So you also cannot see her, but she's defeated. You can shoot her once if you want.
So that's a 20 to hit and a 18 plus 26 to hit. So let's, just in case this makes any difference, that's a 11, 12, 13, 14, and 16.
So while he's doing that real quickly, Johanna's about to leave, so I need about 5 minutes. We could either take a short break, or y'all could finish this while I go.
We can go on our break. Congratulations, party. You have slain the lady, one of Karen's great and mighty generals. Go on break. We will be back at 8:35 to continue this adventure.
Excellent.
Welcome back from break as we rejoin three of our characters, having just defeated one of the big bosses of this campaign, one of Karen's great generals, the Lady, a fearsome drider, fallen to who knows what terrible fate. Way down deep, but we probably won't have to worry about her.
That's outside the
I'm
scope
gonna-
of the cosmology of the season.
Actually, I want to chase her.
Of course you do. Why
Okay.
wouldn't you do such a thing?
Krok's gonna go after her.
So, what's your flying speed?
80.
Okay. Are you going to let yourself just fall? Are you going to like tuck in and hawk like dive falling, or you're going to fly downwards?
Yeah, I'm gonna tuck in.
How aggressively are you going to drop towards this creature that's falling like a stone?
I'm gonna try to follow her, but I want to stay out of view. I don't want to get shot. So I'm gonna try to stay out of view, but like keep my eyes out for signs of her passing.
So you're going to go downwards.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
As you drop,
And as I'm going, can I cast Cure Wounds on myself?
absolutely.
I'm gonna do that. That seems like a good idea. I use just a level 1. Well, no, I'm gonna use the level 2. Boop. Hey, look at that. And I get 2d8 plus 1. Here's a d8. That's 1. I got 3 hit points.
Great. You fall for about a minute, and she becomes visible below you.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, you see your friend just tuck up like a hawk and just shoop. Do you say anything before you
No,
dive?
dude, I
Actually, probably Waverin cannot see this. Malmer, what you see is you're clinging to the underside of this branch, and your buddy Karak just slams into her, bites her with enormous force, just ripping out a huge chunk of spider nasty body, and she appears to be severed from her web that she'd been clinging to, tries to grab onto him, but is not able to. He bites her again, and she falls. He circles for just a few seconds.
I'm firing down at her actively.
Oh yeah, you shoot
blasting
down at her.
down.
But she disappears fairly quickly. It looks like one of your bolts may have hit her, but she disappears from view fairly quickly, and your friend then also dives after her.
I just kind of purse my lips and just kind of
Karak, as after about a minute of falling, you catch a glimpse of her at just a wavering shape through the mist.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to flap your wings to fall even faster to try and catch up, or
Is she still falling?
yeah?
No. I'll slow down just a little bit to get to because I don't want her to see me and get a shot.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I if she's still falling. Yeah, I'll keep going.
Okay.
Trying to be evasive.
The sort of green mist around you gradually gets thinner and thinner.
Uh-huh.
It lightens and lightens, until it starts to turn a little bit blue. By now, another minute has gone by.
Have I any sign of her passing?
After a little while, another couple seconds, you do see her more clearly, but she's further away, even smaller. You can see the legs twitching.
Okay. I'll keep going. Is there what's going on around? Am I just in the middle of a mist still?
What you see now, I mean, you're gonna look around?
Yeah.
Above you is a thick green mist.
Mm-hmm.
And there are these purplish clouds. You didn't pass through one of them, but below, all around you in various places, you can see these almost enormous banks of mist, and you're not on course to fall through any of them. Below you, you have having just come out of the mist. You can see the stars. The sun is there's a green glow coming from above.
I'm gonna turn around and go back up. That's
Shouldn't you have to check to see whether or not you have a complete and utter psychotic break in the face of the hoary depths that made you such a pill the first time around?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me like a wisdom saving throw.
God knows I'd love to see you fail that.
All right.
Go ahead, Dave. Have a complete psychotic break in space. What'd you roll, Dave?
Hey, got Dave. A 1.
Dave, come to me, Dave. I am void. I am the Valhalla of foolish character deaths, Dave.
Thanks, Josh.
Watherin, you help your friend Malmer climb back up onto the top of the root.
True.
There the two of you are.
Hey,
yeah.
What happened? I noticed there are far fewer spiders here than there were.
Yeah. Well, if the lady were to be severed from her thread and cast down into the abyss and were to disappear into the mist at the multiple blows of my eldritch blasts, and you were our friend Gravy, what would be your next move? What would you do?
Our Gravy? Probably have some kind of episode.
I believe that is entirely the path that our friend has chosen to embark on, because he's disappeared down into the cloud cover. He tucked his wings in and made a better falling shape, like a hawk or something, and has dove down into the clouds after her. To what end? I don't even begin to pretend to know. I don't know.
Watherin pulls out his prayer book, thumbs through it to a particular page, points to a part, and reads, or at least pretends to read, "Cool beans." All right, well, I'm very much in need of a rest. I am exhausted. Last time we rested here, it didn't go well. We could...
An excellent point.
Go back to Air Mountain, or we could just rest outside of here, or we could see if there's any spare rooms at the barracks up there.
Sir, I am entirely on board with whatever plan seems good and right to you. I'm fully prepared to dispatch any number of followers of Karen if you feel that the mission has just gone too far to cede, sir. If you believe that this wave is basically done breaking, I'll understand and I'll follow you home. But, sir, on a personal level, I would very much like to go to that garrison and empty it. Please.
Quick side note. I need a previously on the Starfall Collective synopsis of our mission. Some of the details have gotten blurry.
Kill the lady was the original mission, right?
The current tactical situation, you have some information from the Shadow Dancer who you interrogated to the effect that the lady is a great general, but she's replaceable. The irreplaceable aspect, the irreplaceable character in Karen's sort of the keystone of this war from her side is this spider mage who's responsible for actually creating the portals to the Feywild, which are allowing Karen to bypass the Aarakocra network of scouts and their sharp hawk-like eyes, as well as the Elven Empire's border patrol, which might, under other circumstances, prevent them from accessing the Cloudy Sea. By the way, Watherin, I'd like you to go ahead and make me a perception check with disadvantage.
With disadvantage.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Perception. 6.
Okay. And then another...
Wait. Sorry. The floor is my passive, right?
Right.
Then 16.
Okay. That's better. There was... During the battle, you're thinking back to it, when you think back to how the different players in the battle, the different combatants would have moved, something wasn't quite right.
Okay.
Something wasn't quite right. Something about the plants. Some of the plants were moving that you knew that there was like a place where you thought for a second that that's where Malmer was hiding. But then you found the actual place where Malmer was hiding, and it wasn't that. You thought Malmer was hiding there because of the, a little bit of motion in the reeds. Another thing, there's something else in the back of your mind that's been sort of bothering you. Go ahead and make me an insight check.
I can do that.
Actually, no, yeah. This should be an investigation check, actually.
I could do that. Just regular wise? Single die?
Regular investigation check, yeah. D20.
A 6.
Okay.
So, with regard to the former issue that we just discussed, Watherin wants to focus for a moment and use his outer inner eye to look around, especially at that spot.
Okay. Yeah, the spot that you noted during the battle, there's nothing out of the ordinary there.
Okay.
Mal,
Glancing around.
You should describe for me exactly what you do with your magical scrying eye.
Yeah, so I think what I say is, Malmer, I think someone or something else is here with us. Maybe. Something wasn't right. I'm going to confer with Oberon, which is my word for using the divine sight he gave me. And then basically inconspicuously kind of bowing head and withdrawing from my physical form and focusing myself into this sensor. Do like a 360, maybe physically if I have to, but looking around, and importantly, know. Is it possible to try to scry on something something I'm suspicious of?
You've got a table for it.
Yeah, it says.
I think it's locations where you've been before, and creatures that you may know of.
Yeah, I got it right here. I've heard of the target, but that's a +5 modifier to their save. So yeah, I think first I want to look around, and then second I want to try to do that, even though it's got a disadvantage from. I'm not a mechanical disadvantage, but it's difficult to do. Those are the two things. But having said that to Malmer, to alert him that I'm basically looking around, inwardly.
Mm-hmm.
So while he's doing that, Mal gets down where he knows that the spider web was anchoring her, or at least he has a strong suspicion that it was. And he starts using Arcana and just good old searching by hand, trying to try putting out, small amount of energy from different magic schools. Mal's not a wizard or a sorcerer, but, he's feeling around arcanely, doing an Arcana check. So,
For what are you looking for?
I'm looking for any traces of any Fey interactive webbing that she was able to shoot. We've already come through a portal, and the spider webs seem to have had something to do with it before. And I watched her jump off the edge as though she were diving off attached to something, but I didn't see it. She jumped off the edge, and she appeared to be able to right herself and pull herself back up because she had unseen threads.
Yeah.
So Al's suspicious of
give me a nature check to search for those. Okay. Actually, it's not even a nature check. That's just perception.
Okay. So should I make a perception check first?
Yeah, just make a perception check. Or if you want investigation to try and solve the mystery of what she was hanging from.
Okay, so that's a 15.
Yeah.
10 plus 5.
Sorry,
searching diligently, you are able to find some traces of some transparent, but very thick and sturdy spider webbing, such as would be sufficient to hold a creature like that, and still be fairly unseeable in the gloom.
As he starts to do that, and just before I do my own kind of looking around with my true sight sensor, I actually want to use my Paladin Divine Sense, which allows me to sense anything affected by the Hallow spell or know the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead that's not behind total cover.
Nice.
Celestial, fiend, or undead.
Or anything affected by the Hallow spell.
Don't you reread the word undead like you don't have a zombie horde hidden behind the next gate, Matthew?
As a separate sentence, it says, as an action, you can detect good and evil. And then I suppose the next sentence about what it's detecting is detail about that.
Okay. Tell me, what is the range of this spell?
60 feet, as long as it's not within behind total cover.
Okay. What your spell detects the traces of the unholy presence of the lady.
Okay.
Like her spiritual footprints, some of the mystic energy left behind by her.
Okay. And basically I'm doing that as I look around, you know, with my third eye.
Man, so you can magically sniff and magically see.
Something like that. I'm a magic Aarakocra bloodhound. Aarakocra. So that's how I look around for that. And then I want to try to scry on that thing, should it exist.
Okay. Yeah. What's the stat that it's rolling?
It is a
Charisma?
a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom.
And this is my whiz 17. It says attack save is 17. Oops, he froze. Nope, everybody froze. I froze. If there's nothing wrong with me, there must be something wrong with the rest of the universe.
Hi, popcorn.
Hey, there's some people. Dave dropped.
It's funny
Oh,
because
here he comes.
Yeah, sorry, froze up.
So, sorry, real quick, Matt, I didn't hear anything because you all seemed to freeze to me. So I said, I'm going to do that, and it's a wisdom saving throw, and my spell sheet says wisdom 17 is the save.
right.
That's the last thing I heard, or said, or whatever.
Yeah. That's good. So I don't actually, it says you can see and hear a particular creature, and I don't know if the description, whatever it was that passed this way during the battle, is particular enough for this spell to be used on it. But I'm gonna go ahead and let it slide. Because you actually have scryed on this creature before. You actually have followed this creature before. You can see the hideous green hag, and it is making its way west along the route. It's a good distance from you. It's like a quarter mile away from you or something. It's making its way back towards the entrance, and it is almost there.
Ruh-roh.
It's invisible.
Okay. I sprint after it and tell Malmer as I start sprinting, the hag, the hag.
Mal's head snaps and he starts running. He's got his spear in hand. I don't think he's really put anything down or around. He leaves the rope that was being used to sling the raft, but he does. He's got some of this silk in his hand. One of the last things that he was doing before he took off was he was grabbing a vine to make a little hoop so that he could wrap this invisible thread around it and then just stick it in his pocket.
So you took some of the lady's spider thread?
Yeah, just wrapped it around. Just he said, "Let's go." He grabs a hunk of vine and starts spinning the thread around the vine, and then he's got a little bundle of sprig wrapped in silk.
Cool. So put into your inventory 15 feet.
Okay.
Of drieder, let's say, transparent drieder silk.
Okay. Thank you.
Let's see. What are your speeds?
Just 30.
30 for me as well.
Okay. Go ahead and make me athletics checks.
7.
Okay. Athletics check. Ugh. 10. 9.
When you reach
9. Sorry.
When you reach the entrance to the portal where you originally descended by spider's thread, you see that some of a small amount of the webbing that you descended down is on fire. You see a incredibly hideous creature, green, knotted, gnarled, dripping hair, huge claws, and it has tinder and flint. I think we lost everybody but me.
I can
I
hear
can
you.
still hear you.
Oh, good. It has tinder and flint, and it's trying to light. It's starting to light another part of the webbing.
Okay.
You first see it, and you're about 80 feet away is when the mist parts and this becomes visible to you for the first time.
So we are climbing down a.
Nope.
Or
You're
climbing up.
you have been running.
We're
You have
running
been
on the branch.
Yeah.
running west along the route, and you come to the place where the portal is, and above is like a ladder of thick, ropey,
Yeah.
not orderly like a ladder, but just a big pile of up and down spider webbing that one can climb. And she is seems to be intent on destroying it.
Interesting. That's kind of our way out.
That is kind of our way out.
So I say we dive in head first and don't let these small flames at the outset stop us. I don't know any way to really cope with fire other than try not to say ow. Water. Do we have any water? I'll take water and dump half of it on him and half of it on me.
Not that I know of, but there's a little bit of fire right now. Obviously, she'll try to grow it, but we could kill her. I don't
Good
know if that
plan.
helps us.
All right. Do you know where she is?
I think we both see her. She's just lighting the thing on fire.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Okay, yeah.
You can both see her.
Okay, cool. Then Mao charges at her.
As
Do we
does
need to roll for
Wolverine.
initiative?
Yeah. You run up to her, and as you get close enough for the battle to begin, she turns to you with a hideous snarl and bares her claws.
Okay.
And turns invisible.
And turns invisible.
Roll initiative. Malmer, you cannot see her. Watherin, you can.
All right. He got a 22. I got a 21.
Yep.
Watherin, your turn.
Okay. I am going to. Let me find it real quickly. Here it is. I'm trying to see what it says exactly here. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to run up to her and just attack her with my longsword, which is 18 to hit.
That hits. Roll damage.
Roll damage. And I'm looking. Sorry, I gotta see. Well, I don't have to. I can read it in a second. Attack. Longsword.
She starts shrieking.
Listen here, young man.
4.
Handsome young adventurers killing evil women in the forest is no way to reform the world. You gotta fix the system first.
4 damage.
I hit her for 4, and I get a second attack. 9.
That misses.
Okay. But hopefully Malmor sees approximately what I'm stabbing.
Sure. That's got to help.
Yeah. Malmer, you will attack with disadvantage because you can't actually see her, but you do have a chance to hit her. She's not like, if you want to.
Okay, then. Oh, nuts. A creature you can see within range. Is it possible to. If I can't see her, I can't. I take it I can't hex her because she's invisible. So, okay. Yeah, I guess I'm just going to attack with the Fate Blade. And that means that I'm going to lift up this card, and that's a 10 plus. Sorry, wrong side. 11. So 21 to hit.
With disadvantage, please.
Ah, so I guess I have to take 2 cards and take the lower. So still a 10. So that's 1d10.
I'm sorry. What was your roll? What was your attack?
21.
Okay, yeah, that hits.
Yeah.
Even with disadvantage?
Yep.
The 2 cards were the same, apparently.
Well, no, the second card was higher.
Oh, okay.
Okay, great. I can't
So-
see the cards very well.
Yeah, sorry about that. 16 points of damage from the Fate Glaive.
Yeah.
How much?
16.
That's not bad.
Nope. Not bad at all. I can't see her or anything, can I, now that I've hit her?
Actually, she has to roll something to see whether her concentration breaks for her invisibility.
Okay.
But it does not. She rolled good. I
Okay.
believe that's how it works.
Alrighty. And I'm going to take an action surge and attack a second time. And I take it she's still invisible. You made me waste a 19. But the other one is a 25 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. Let's try this again. Nice. 16 again.
Wow. She goes visible, and she falls on her knees and looks up at the two of you and says, "I surrender. I surrender." And like hisses at you in hatred, but stops attacking.
I guess Mal grabs some sort of cloth, shoves it into her mouth, and grabs some rope and begins the process of binding her hands behind her back.
She struggles a little bit, but then holds still.
And Watherin whispers, "Wow, man, I was just going to kill her."
Oh, really? Oh, okay, sorry. And Mal just Eldritch Blast the hag.
You Eldritch Blast her in which direction?
In the head, down towards the ground. This is supposed to be kid-friendly. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say.
This isn't
No,
kid-friendly.
This project doesn't have to be kid-friendly. I've had all sorts of gore in this.
Ronan, someone's getting executed in a back alley. I mean, it's not pretty. Mal just right there.
Roll damage.
Okay. He's going to do 2 of them because he can do 2 of them at once. And so the damage, he's going to use his bonus action to put that extra d6 on. Each of these is plus 5. So it's 10, 21, 23, 24. 24 points of dual eldritch damage.
The hag rolls over with her hands bound behind her back, and there's a brief shimmer, and suddenly who you see before you, it looks just like Ferraria with her hands bound behind her back.
Oof.
I don't know who Ferraria is.
Oof.
Make me an investigation check.
Okay.
Both of us?
Yeah, both of you who see this.
10 plus 5 is 15.
And a 14 for me.
It looks like Ferraria, but not as you last saw her. She looks worse for wear.
As in, now that I look more closely at this hag, I realize that it's been Ferraria all along, or it now looks different than it did before.
Looks like Ferraria, but she's been through some stuff. And it's not the hag we saw a second ago.
Okay. Mal drops to a knee and puts a finger on her neck and does a medicine check.
When you touch her, your hand comes into contact with the cold, clammy, wet, slimy flesh of a hag. Despite that you can see Ferraria's warm, living flesh right in front of you, when you touch her, that's not how Ferraria's skin feels.
Yeah, Mal snatches his hand away before she can poison him through his hand or something. He like starts wiping his hand off and pouring water on it and trying to whatever. Again, do I need to make an Arcana check to see if the hag can like poison me by touch or something like that?
Sorry.
No, you don't need to make any checks like that.
All right.
Waithrin says, "What is it?"
Can you not see the different visage of the hag? How she looks like a beautiful woman. Well, a woman beautiful, worse for wear.
And then Waithrin scries at his location again and sees the hag. I guess
you can see right through this illusion. It's illusion. It's an illusory appearance that is making her look like another person.
Yeah.
Waithrin gets really, really stabby.
She's bound, and if you wish to slay her now, you may.
Yeah. Gosh. Sorry, he's going to wonder about intel. But hesitating just for a moment, he just kills her. He takes his sword, took his Vorpal sword in hand, and Vorpal it is indeed. He makes quick work of her neck and gives her body a good old-fashioned punt off the side.
It falls.
Great. I assume it now is back to looking like a hag head.
Oh, yes. As soon as she's dead, she looks exactly like the hideous hag.
Waithrin assesses the state of the flames. Have they died down? Have they gotten bigger? Nothing.
They have gotten bigger. The fire has spread to about half of the webbing ladder.
What do you think, Malmer? Should we try to get out of here? This is the only exit we know of. Or we could go deeper in and look for the spider mage.
Oh, that's right. There's a spider mage here that needs to be killed. It looks like you and me are the only men for the job.
I'm game. Could be a Quetzalcoatl somewhere too, but who can know?
Honestly, he just tucked them. He looked like just a ball. He looked like a piece of fruit. Just, you know, those really long fruits that you can get in three ways, the with the little stripes along that look like a goose. He just looked like that. He just looked like a goose fruit. Just straight.
Well, let's take a nap and then
Why would you do that? Why would he do any of these things? We have a psychotic list. Waithrin, I'm the most dependable, level-headed, rational man in your team. I'm so sorry your life has come to this. I thought your god liked you. I really did. More than mine did, at least.
Waithrin waits patiently.
Mal's just like leaning off his staff, staring after the place where the Ferraria body went down. He's like, just jumped. He just jumped off the side. He just dives down into... He has problems with space. He knows this.
Malmer.
Yeah.
I could use a rest. How about you?
Okay. All right. your dungeon master is going to ask Sir Robert,
Hey,
Watherin, roll a straight wisdom check.
good old-fashioned wisdom check. All right. Ooh. Natural 20, which gives me a 27.
That was the wisdom check where your character would know something, but the DM is not sure whether you know it or not. You can scry on anybody in your plane of existence,
Yeah,
including your friend Karaok.
fair enough.
You can also fly.
Yeah.
Laissez-faire.
Thank you. None of those had escaped me.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I just want our audience now knows too. Watherin knows these things,
Yeah.
and
He's playing a little cool for Malmer. Just saying. Also, Watherin was not, just as a quick aside, Watherin was not concerned about us getting up out if we wanted to, because he happens to know that we're both Eladrin and can Misty step up above the fire probably, and then shamble up from there.
Mal turns to Watherin. There's flaming brush around them. There's literally fire erupting, and he says, Watherin, it's come to my attention that based on the past trajectories of our allies, there might be some implication that you and I will go the same way. And I want no such thing to happen. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to figure out some sort of oath that I can take in an Oberonian measure in service to him that will allow me to work with you in some sort of secure, confined hierarchy of military authority, and perhaps we can accomplish some good. But I am getting sick and tired of people jumping
Watherin looks at the
off
flames.
and just...
the fire is spreading quickly as you speak.
Yeah, fair enough. Listen, hey, I think there's only us to kill the spider mage. You want to give it a whirl?
Oh, I'm going to do much more than whirl. I'm going to open him up. And
So,
yeah, sorry.
oh, that's good. So Watherin,
You see this like momentary, he kind of gets the whole Chernobog, like, oh yeah, let's go for the hunt, man. Let's go. And then he like kind of calms down and catches his breath and says, for the honor of Oberon, we will hunt down this foe.
like a Chernobog Pentecostal.
Amen, brother. And he's shaking his spear above his head.
In a not rude way at all, Watherin starts walking a little bit away from the fire because it's getting all wild. You know, down the path, not back up or anything. And stops for a moment and says, let me think for a minute. And scries on Karak. The let me think for a minute is a cover for the scrying.
Okay.
Can I make this? I've gotten like 18 and higher. For the last like 5 or 6 times I've asked, can I make a perception check to read the situation around Watherin pretending not to be Yellow Eyes?
Oh, this is not a situation where he's transforming into Yellow Eyes. He is not hidden from you that he has some crazy Oberon powers that like tell things that you couldn't possibly know. And also, you've seen Yellow Eyes in the Feywild here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's not. There's something going on with him and Yellow Eyes. But Watherin, what you see is Karauk, and he is not a Quetzalcoatlus. And you see him, his limbs are splayed out, and his eyes are closed, and he is the shape of a lizard man, and around him is darkness and some stars.
And a spider? I mean, I don't
You don't see anything like that.
All right. I don't detect any motion or anything.
Relative to what?
I don't know. How, a nearby star? I mean, I don't know.
If you looking around, you don't see anything relative to which he might be moving.
Watherin obviously is aware of the sort of flatness of the world, you know, that there's another side. I think he is unsure about whether it is possible to fly in the, let's call it, celestial regions, for lack of any other better word. I think he wants to try to figure out if it would be possible to chase and catch and then like pull, basically if it's possible to fly in that region.
In the region where Karauk is,
where it looks like, I mean, we know he dove down, and Watherin guesses he fell off the world.
Yeah.
It might be a nature check about the nature of that.
Yeah, no, you do a history check.
History check.
Because the Aarakocra know this.
Okay.
The question is whether Watherin has picked it up in his travels from them.
13.
Yeah, the Aarakocra know that you can only fly so low or so high before you're not able to breathe anymore. They don't do it.
Okay. After thinking for a moment, Watherin picks up his head. Malmer, I don't think that Karaak is coming back the way you described it. I think he went down the other side of the Feywild's cloudy sea.
Karauk. You find it hard to breathe. You find that you are seeing spots in front of your eyes. You feel a paralysis that is psychic in nature, a fear paralysis. And you unconsciously, instinctually reverted back to your lizard man form. Without your wings, you just fell like a stone. And now it's getting cold.
Right.
And you...
Go on.
No, if you have something you want to do.
Were you going to say anything else?
I'll give you a chance to do something if you have something you want to do.
Well, I feel, I mean, is he, has he come back to his senses? Or, I don't know, like, should I make some sort of will check or something? I don't know.
Don't come to your senses, Dave. Come to me. Bad character choice, Valhalla.
I'm trying to find the one that I'm looking for, but
You mean your fellow party members remind the DM to have you make a certain saving throw?
Dave.
Wouldn't have made you otherwise make Valhalla.
Beautiful failure, Dave.
That kind of Valhalla.
So
I'm a little
your
confused on which one I'm in. What's that?
your condition is frightened,
Okay.
and the source of your fear is something like yourself. You might need therapy to figure out what the source of your fear is.
It's Jungian.
The frightened condition is you can't move closer to it, and this fear has made you unable to transform into your Quetzalcoatlus shape.
Oh. So if he's able to transform into his Quetzalcoatlus shape, he's probably going to try to fly away. Because, run, flight, fight or flight.
Sure.
He's going to flight.
Yeah. Make
So,
me a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is either going to be the single greatest Mario Smash Brothers edge ever,
That's
or
mediocre. That was a 5.
please shield your children's eyes.
You struggle mightily in your soul against the fear.
Wait,
And
stop.
you're
Depending on what's going to happen here, I have a whole bunch of unused fate points.
No.
Okay.
Fate points are good for the fate of the Fujin,
Okay.
which you've left behind long ago.
But couldn't he use all those points to
No.
ensure that the fate of the Fujin included the face of a certain gravy just one more time?
Nope. No. Nope. So
That's good,
You-
Dave. You're one step closer to me. Bad player choice. La la la.
Karauk,
Like you all right there, Josh?
I'm fine.
you
Having some multiple personality moment thing going on there. You sound a little confused.
you hear a voice that you recognize.
Oh boy.
You see a lizard that you recognize
Oh, this is comforting.
crawl up your arm and on the back of your hand.
Oh wait.
It's
That
familiar.
lizard. That lizard.
It says to you in a deep, deep voice, "Last chance."
Never. Good
I
man.
throw the lizard off.
Good man.
The what happens in the narrative next is that Watherin, who is scrying on Karaak at this moment, the spell suddenly fails, and you see him no more.
And I guess that's when I say to Malmer, I don't think we're going to see Karak again.
Yeah, I didn't have a good feeling about that last one.
Well,
Any chance of seeing Finnetir again? Maybe we could ask Yellow Eyes.
oh, I don't know where he is, but
Oh, you don't. Okay.
Yellow who? What?
Okay. Somewhere along the line, I thought we were past this moment, but okay, we're still in this moment. Okay, sure. Go ahead.
I think we should look for that spider mage.
Then that is what we will do.
But I gotta tell you, honestly,
Oh, honestly, are you going to tell me something honestly?
honestly, I am exhausted. I couldn't cast one more spell. I don't think I could heal. I'd probably heal one more point.
All right. Well, then why don't you just help me find a good camping spot? And so Mal goes and makes a survival check with his plus
Yep.
1. That's a 14.
You know,
Is that the kind of thing that he could bless?
I don't have any spell slots.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
I also got a 14.
Oh, wait, you already blessed me. Never mind.
That was a long time ago, though. It doesn't last that long.
Oh, that's right. This is a different fight.
yep. You
Okay.
the best you can find is a place where the root is like a little bit wider than it normally is. So the vines are sort of thicker and grow denser. And you think that you can sort of huddle down and set up your sleeping bag sort of in between these vines in a place where it's unlikely that anybody will be able to find you. There's not really weather here, and it's not really cold, so a tent is probably unnecessary.
Hmm.
This is sort of what I'm suggesting. If you want to make another effort at like slinging that boat underneath and like sleeping in that,
Well, the boat is still
tell me.
slumped.
Yeah, the boat's still down there. It's it's half a quarter mile away from you, but
As far as I know, nobody found it, right?
I mean the lady would have seen it,
Would have, but
Yeah.
and there's a good chance that the hag would have seen it as well. But they're both
relatively
problem.
dead.
Hmm.
We're here at the end of the path that the hag was destroying. So I'm
Yeah, it's burned up by now.
Yeah. There's very little reason. I tell Malmer. There's very little reason for anybody to come here, I think.
I agree. Lightning doesn't strike twice. This is as good a place as any to lay low. I agree.
I mean, the hag probably was burning this up on orders of some kind, and it has successfully burned up, it seems. So,
This will be one less place they'll look.
I mean, yeah, why would they try to launch another ship out of nothing? So, seems like a decent place.
Certainly no more traffic going through here.
If we spend 8 hours, you could stand watch, then I could stand watch.
Fair. All right. Well, I'll take first.
I appreciate it.
Cues the horn of silent alarm to Watherin.
Very good. The night does pass in peace. There's a phenomenon that you notice where every couple of hours these enormous fireflies start to sort of swirl around in the distance, and they sort of seem to like go away. And that's not like, oh, this is happening at night or this is happening in the evening. It's like, every 3 hours or something.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, time passes strangely here. There's not really anything going on except for these dim shapes that you can sort of see that don't move with any sort of regularity or rhythm. They're like clouds forming and dissipating, rotating, moving in the distance, and just the mist. So it's an uneventful watch. By the time Watherin is rested, he gets up, and you go into your trance, and then Watherin, you stand your watch. Very similar experiences. The fireflies come on, drift around a little bit. Fireflies go away.
And while I do my watch, I'd like while Malmer is resting, I would like to attempt to scry on the spider mage.
Okay.
Wisdom 17 savings throw, but he has a +5. So wisdom 12, I guess.
Where did I put him? right. Control F.
Ladies and gentlemen, entering the hall, the great hall, the Valhalla of bland player choices. It's Gravy, hurling himself off the side of the known planet to chase after an incredibly powerful poison-based foe who could have paralyzed him in midair. But was that what paralyzed him? No, it was his own chickenness. He literally froze in the face of the expanding void of space. And now he's here to party with us for eternity in Bad Player Valhalla. Give it up for Gravy.
I think it's a fitting circumstance. Now, Watherin,
Hey.
it's a wisdom saving throw
Yeah.
plus
Wisdom.
5.
Yeah.
So versus what?
17.
The saving throw succeeds.
Okay.
Dave, you can't look glum. You have to look proud. Gravy went out as he lived.
Oh, absolutely. What?
All right. You were looking sad there for a sec. You should be proud.
No, we also got to spit in Paylor's face one last time.
That's right. I hate you. You're not
I wasn't expecting that.
Anyway, so what's happening?
What's happening is that you get done resting
Okay.
and get up and put your sleeping bags back in your packs and I guess eat some rations. Subtract one ration from each of you.
Okay.
If you're you probably should eat.
I know I've got a ration in here somewhere. Hold on. There it is.
Rations. I've also got some stuff. I've got like a steel mirror and a shaving thing. So I like offer it to him. And then I realize like, oh, we're both elves and neither of us have to shave. So I just kind of put it back away.
So, well, Mal,
I'm just saying this is the last chance I'm ever going to have to use that shaving mirror. So the least I can do is pretend to offer it to you. I can make us breakfast. I've got ink and pen. I say, what's the plan?
Well,
Garrison is the obvious next place to gather intel. Do we hit it and torture a few people until we find out where to move next?
yeah, I mean, makes sense to me. We can only go east, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
East and slightly south. It's not direct east, it's
Yeah,
somewhat
sure.
south.
But it's, the only way to go. So, let's go.
Mal points his staff out and along the path and says, one direction to go and one bad guy to kill. Life is simple today. And he starts strolling down the path.
Yep. After your long rest, do all your long rest things. You have had a long rest. Congratulations.
I clicked it twice.
Just to be nice.
So I think we're going to narrate your journey a little bit, and then when you arrive at the barracks, sort of talk about what it looks like a little bit, and then that'll probably be the end of the episode, and you'll be able to think about your approach to this part of the dungeon for next episode.
Give me 5 combat rounds and I'll have this place cleared out. Sorry, go ahead.
As you go east, the route slowly thickens, and as it thickens, it gets the strange vines. They grow much thicker, and they actually get sort of woody, to where after like an hour of walking or hour and a half, you get where there are vines coming off of the other vines, like they're sort of forming trees or branches, and they're not just like a green plant anymore. They start getting fibrous and woody and much bigger. But the path continues through them. Somebody has taken the trouble to clear this path. And after a ways, you start to see off to your right, looks like another route. Maybe after a gap of like 50 feet or so. And it slowly grows closer and closer until you come to a place where the two routes meet. And in that place, it's much thicker. And they have cleared away a big chunk. A wide open area has been cleared of the vegetation. And in that place, a very strange building has been constructed. All different materials. You think you see wood, you see stone, you see what looks like metal walls, metal roofs. There's it's just the different roofs at different levels and walls at strange angles, almost as though it was thrown together not at random, because like true randomness, doesn't look random. It's like that sort of intentional, look how random I'm being randomness. That's not really like true randomness. It's like
Two things that used to be whole that have been jammed together.
It's
like
13-year-old randomness.
it's gaudy randomness. It's trying too hard, really. You think. But yeah, this building is before you. There is an entrance to it, and there's a cleared area in front of it, like a open space, and you do not see anybody. This does seem to be the building that they the Shadow Dancers spoke of, calling it the barracks.
Mm-hmm. So, I say, stepping to the side, out of the view of the road where anybody on the building could see us down the path. We should probably figure out what sort of perimeter and manpower this building has. How do you suggest we do that?
Well, before that, I had a thought while we were walking.
Which was, Mal fires off a certain number of paces, a lot of paces, for the record.
This big wooden branch root thing.
By the way, it's not just those two routes coming together. There's a thicker one that goes southeast from here.
Okay.
So this is like two large roots that are both stretching west.
Mm-hmm.
One of them to the north and one of them to the south. And you've been on the one that's more northerly.
Mm-hmm.
And then they come together, and a thicker one goes off to the southeast. You can't see it from here very well, but the geography wouldn't make sense without it.
Okay.
Okay. So we're on this weird root vine tree trunk wooden thing.
Right.
And it doesn't go anywhere, like back over that way. So I was thinking, what do you think would happen if we tried to set it on fire? Like the whole thing.
Mal kind of starts looking around and takes the glaive and starts like stabbing into the bark of things, peeling them open, stabbing down into the ground, peeling it over.
He's just trying ground.
To get a sense of how wet everything is. Like, it may be wet, but is there real flammable fuel in the midst of this lush vegetation, enough for a forest fire to spread.
You see nothing of what you would expect in a forest of like dead leaves or mulch or dirt or anything like that. The kind of stuff that would fuel a forest fire enough to catch trees and things. You could probably get something going, but the material here does seem to be quite wet.
I'm talking about setting the root on fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's my question: is if you can't get the outer stuff burning, how are you hoping to get the core burning? Mal says.
Yeah, fair enough. Just a thought.
Go ahead, and both of you make me nature checks. This is a question about the nature of the thing.
All right. Do you want to help me? What's your nature score?
0.
Mine's
Or
a
plus 0.
Mine's a +2. Do you want to help me, and I'll make the check with advantage, so I get a higher bonus?
It's up to Matt.
Sure.
Okay.
Go for it.
All right. That's an 18.
Yeah. You guys go off to the side a little ways, and you talk to each other a little bit about this plant that you seem to be on, the root. Watherin, you had an inkling of this back in Air Mountain. Back in Air Mountain, when you first started using your scrying, you had an insight about the trees. One of the things is that the scrying, it allows you to see through illusion.
Right.
Things that look as though there's something else, you can see what they really are. And what you saw was that the trees of the Cloudy Sea, they're not complete organisms.
Right.
And
I
what
remember
you
that.
realize now is that what you've been walking through here, this is probably the rest of the organism.
Unbelievable. You dog. You dirty, dirty dog. You got me. You played me with my own trope. Ugh. Matthew.
I don't know what you're all talking about.
Well played. The cosmological reveal. The canopy of the Cloudy Sea is a planar canopy because that plane represents a transitional barrier border between the material and the Feywild, and these trees that grow in the Feywild have their tips of their canopy in the Cloudy Sea. Or at least they have branchy growths growing up into the Cloudy Sea, and those growths have a canopy. Either way,
Yeah.
it's connected. It's one organism growing across two. It's an interplanar organism.
What Watherin realizes is that what he realized back in Air Mountain was that the trees were not trees at all, but roots. What looked like leaves were really roots.
Right.
And that they are actually like they're the hairy little moss-like little
Tendrils.
tiny hairy little tendril roots coming off of a bigger root of some unthinkably large tree, some unthinkable distance away, that has parts in more than one plane of existence.
So Watherin muses about this a little bit and pontificates to Mal about some of the things he was thinking and suggests maybe we shouldn't light it on fire.
It may well be a sacred thing.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't like it if somebody burned one of the great trees in the elven domain. And this is a greater tree by far.
Nor would I like it if you chopped off my hand because there was a spider on it. So I agree. Let's try
Fair
and
enough.
commensurate.
In that case, let's see if we can kick Karen in the shins.
And I think
Regular manpower assessment, sir?
I think that is probably where we should end tonight's episode, with our sort of two remaining adventurers approaching an enemy stronghold in a strange place.
We've been here before, and we're back. Thanks to the decisions of Gravy. All hail Gravy, achiever of the most beautiful feat possible. Foolhardy character death.
I think R.I.P. Gravy, and I feel like it's an extremely fitting end to his story, and I love it very much.
He died as he lived. Or something like that.
Or something like that.
He did. Oh, he died as he lived. You very much, yes.
But one question remains. How did the hag know what Ferraria looked like? Dum dum dum. And that is where we will stop for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. You know what, the two of you? Level up.
Nice. Level up.
Get your characters up. Just you two.
Not me.
Your character is dead.
All right.
But these guys beat some bosses and did a lot of
I beat the
exploring.
boss too. I beat the boss.
A
That's
higher
true.
level
You did
corpse.
beat the boss.
I beat the boss.
Um,
I'm gonna
but
level up.
tune in this same time next week for another exciting episode. And remember, failure is beautiful.